It all started last Monday. I was walking home from work. I'm a lawyer. When all of a sudden, an alien came down. "Alistair, we need your help," they said. "What? Me? But I'm just a lawyer." "We need you to defend Earth in space court." Can you believe it? So I went to space court. There, I met my rival, the alien, Blogax Stink. They were the alien putting Earth on trial. Blog said, "Huh, so this is the best lawyer Earth has?" Can you believe it? So then the trial for Earth began. Blog called the first man to the stand. His name? Fluix, Texas. Fluix said, "Earth stole my name, Texas. They must be a bad planet for doing something like this." So I replied, "Texas smexus. Everything's bigger in Texas, so why don't you be a bigger person?" Yeah, I went there. Next, Blog called this other alien to the stand, called the Butcher. The Butcher said, "Earthman, I may be the Butcher, but on Earth, they butcher their own." So I got mad at this, and I said, "If you think Earth is so bad, how about you try this?" And I handed him a Hershey's Kiss from my pocket. The Butcher ate it and went, "Damn, that is good." So I won that one. Next, Blog said, "All right, the last one. This is the final boss." And who did he call up but my friend Magnus? Magnus said, "Alistair, I hate you being a lawyer, and I don't like Earth anymore." So I said this, tears streaming down my face. "Magnus, Earth is our home. I know you didn't want me to be a lawyer, but I have to. You have to accept it. Remember, Magnus, when you used to play catch, and you would say, 'What a good throw,' because now I've got something to throw to you." And I threw a snow globe to Magnus. It smashed through a pane of glass being carried by two aliens through the courtroom. He caught the snow globe, and as the snow settled, it spelled out, "Earth. It's where your friend is." Magnus read it and said, "My friend," and cried. Blog was totally lost at this point, and was like, "Okay, I call it quits." And I went home and I saved the Earth. I'm world famous now. Nice.
So it was Monday in the summer, and I was walking around. I was a lawyer. I was going to school for lawyer stuff, and I came across a alien, and this alien said I was in a lot of trouble with the world because the Earth's name is Earth, and that's stealing someone's name. So I got abducted into space to go to court. There was a guy named Glorb who was saying he knew a guy named Texas, and Texas was mad at Earth for being called Earth and not Texas. And then there was another guy took the stand, and this whole time I'm really confused why these people are like saying this stuff to me. My name is Alasdair. That's the guy's name, the lawyer. And then the Butcher came up to the stand. Butching. And he's yelling at me for something, and I don't know what he's saying. I don't know what he's saying to me, but he's really mad, and I assume it's for the same reason that he's also mad at Earth. So I reached into my pocket, and I pulled out a Hershey Kiss to show him that there's something good from Earth to have. And then Mavis takes the stand. And Mavis started crying and saying that he hates that I'm a lawyer because it's tearing our relationship apart, and also he also hates that Earth's name is Earth. And I throw a snow globe at him for some reason because I'm mad, probably. And it bounces off of him and it smashes into a window pane that two guys were carrying across the courtroom. And then the court's over now, and I get sent back home, and that's the story. Yeah.
Okay, so this is a story of Alasdair, and I'm gonna narrate the story as Alasdair. I'm Alasdair, a lawyer, walking down the street in a summer Monday morning. And as I walk down the street, I'm thinking about I'm such a good lawyer, and then there's an alien who comes up for some reason, and he says, "Hey, you look cool and you look like a lawyer, so I'm gonna go and take you to our courtroom on the space in our mothership." So alien abducts me, Alasdair the lawyer, and takes me to the courtroom. When I go to the courtroom, there is this another alien guy. He introduces me. He says, "Hey, my name is Glorb, and I'm really interested in your being a lawyer, and we're gonna make you be the representative of Earth because Earth has really annoyed my friend Texas." So I ask, "Who's Texas? That's such a lame name. What a dumb name he has, Texas." But then Texas comes and he says, "Oh, I'm really annoyed at Earth because Earth's name is not Texas." And I'm like, "Oh no, this is the one thing I didn't want to fight about." But anyway, now I have to fight about why Earth shouldn't be named Texas in this courtroom on the mothership with the aliens. So anyway, then I'm thinking, oh, what kind of witnesses would they be calling? Then I look around and I see that there's a butcher for some reason, and the butcher is coming and he's butchering his way to the podium while he says that, "Oh, I'm so annoyed at the fact that the Earth's name is not Texas, and Texas is what we all want Earth's name to be." So basically everybody's really annoyed, and I can see that. At this point I think, oh, you know what, I should probably throw some sort of a potato or an avocado at his head because that's what farmers need to be taught a lesson with. And then what happened is that the butcher was like, "Oh no, I haven't taught my lesson," and then the butcher left. After that came Marvin, and Marvin said that he was really upset about our relationship and how it had gone to shit, and how he was also very upset about the fact that Earth was not named Texas. And so I said, "Whatever, fuck you." And I took a snow globe and I threw it at his head, and then Maven's head was injured, but the snow globe bounced off his head into two people who were just standing there outside the courtroom just chatting. They had nothing to do with the case, but they were just the victims of the scene. Anyway, there were no rules at this alien spaceship, and they just dismissed the court at this time, and they said, "Whatever, we have to deal with these two people who have been injured now." So they just said that, "Okay, we don't care about Earth anymore, just go." And I was let to go free, and that was the story. Thank you.
So, there's this guy named Alasdair, and he had one dream. He wanted to be a lawyer. And on Sunday morning, a very nice day, very sunny, very peak, very awesome, he walked down to the lawyer school, and as soon as he walked through the door, a light beam hit him, and he was abducted by an alien. The alien took him in and says, You are the representative of the Earth colony. We want you to fight for our cause. And Alasdair's like, oh dang, I I am gonna lawyer the living crap out of this alien, and it's gonna be a legendary story to retell. Some will get it wrong, some will get it right, but it will be told in numerous amount of way. He got up to the courtroom, and this guy, this long bearded alien, you never thought you'd see like beard in alien, but it's more like a tentacle kind of thing, you know? He has like beady eyes. He look almost cowboyish, even though that's more of an Earth thing. His name turned out to be Texas. He says, well, partner, I want to rename Earth to Texas because I like the name of the sound of that name. And I was like, oh no, I really hate the name Texas. What else should I do? So, throughout the court, this whole drama happens when just him, Alasdair, and Texas are arguing over why the Earth should not be named Texas. Above all else, Alasdair, being the great lawyer that he is, won the case and managed to keep the Earth named Earth. After a while, they put him back on Earth, but due to being an alien technology, it's not the same Earth. It's the Earth that are in cultural media. Like, he saw Geralt the Witcher there, he saw Merlin the Wizard, he even had a sit down at an actual round table eating pizza with King Arthur and Sir Lancelot. This is the story of how Alasdair became one of the legends because he wanted to be a lawyer, and therefore he is known to be Alasdair the lawyer around the night table. Thank you. That's the story.
Hello, contestant. We're here to talk about the story about Alasdair and about how he did the dumb bullshit that he does. So it was one Sunday, and it was a nice Sunday morning, nice and sunny, when Alasdair was like, wow, I can't wait to go to the lawyer school to become a lawyer. So Alasdair went to the lawyer school. He went down there, and as he was walking over there, and as he just approached the entrance, a beam of light shone down from above, and Alasdair was abducted. Alasdair was abducted by a couple of aliens, and these aliens came up to him and said, hey, we want you to help us out. We want you to help us out joining our forces. And Alasdair went, wow, I really don't want to do that. So instead, Alasdair was planning on lawyering the shit out of them. And he was going to lawyer them so badly that that the story about him lawyering the shit out of them would be told in future generations. Some of those stories would be wrong. Some of those stories would be slightly off. But all of them would recount the story of Alasdair and how he lawyered the shit out of other people. So Alasdair ran into another alien. This alien had a weird beard. This beard had a couple of hairs in it, but also tentacles. And this guy was also dressed in a lot of cowboy outfits, a lot of Western shit. And this person introduced themselves to Alasdair. This alien wanted to rename all of Earth into Texas. And Alasdair went, wow, I hate that idea. So Alasdair decided to approach this alien, and have a lawyering contest with them. So they went in, they debated for many days and many nights, and at the end of it, Alasdair emerged victorious. And the Earth was not named Texas. Unfortunately, as the aliens beamed Alasdair down to Earth, Alasdair looked around and realized he wasn't in the original Earth. Alasdair was in a different Earth, where there was the wizard Merlin, there was Sir Lancelot, and Alasdair realized he was now a member of the Knights of the Round Table. And that, my friends, is how Alasdair the lawyer became a member of the Knights of the Round Table. Thank you. Good luck.
Hello, next contestant. I have a story for you. It's the story of Alasdair and some dumb shit that he did. One day he was walking around and he was set upon by a bright beam of light. And while staying in that light, he was brought into a spaceship. He was abducted by some aliens. I don't remember what the aliens needed or wanted him to do, but he didn't want to do it. So he decided that he would become a lawyer. And after some time spent as a lawyer, he was able to lawyer his way out of whatever the hell it was that these aliens wanted him to do. Oh god, there was so much here. So yeah, he won the lawyer battle, and that's the story of how Alasdair lawyered some aliens. Shortly after that, though, he encountered some other aliens. One of them particularly was dressed in some Western finery, cowboy hat, spurs, probably had a gun and all that. And he said that he wanted to rename the Earth Texas. Alasdair did not take kindly to this, and he decided to battle this alien as well. And after much Alasdair lawyering, he won the battle, as you do. And somehow he found himself in a medieval land where he encountered Merlin and Arthur and Lancelot. And it turned out that he was, in Arthurian times, and ended up turning himself into a Knight of the Round Table. And that is the story of how Alasdair the lawyer became Sir Alasdair, a knight. And I'm sorry. Good luck!
This is the story of Alasdair. Alasdair was minding his own business one day, and suddenly a bright light came, and there were aliens, and they were trying to abduct Alasdair, and they had given him a task that they really wanted him to do, but he was not okay with it. So he became a lawyer, and he fought them, and he was able to get out of this task. So he didn't have to do it anymore. The aliens were defeated. But then more aliens came along, and these aliens wanted to rename the entire world Texas, and he was not okay with that. So he took those aliens to court, and he fought them, and he beat them, and the world was not going to be Texas. And then out of nowhere, he found himself back in a medieval fantasy time around the time of King Arthur, and he met Merlin and Lancelot. And through meeting them, he became a Knight of the Round Table. And this is the story of Alasdair the Knight.
Alright, so it's 3 a.m. Let's do this. This is the story of Alasdair. He was a lawyer somewhere, let's say Britain, and suddenly, wait, no, he wasn't a lawyer yet. He was just a normal guy doing normal guy things. Suddenly an alien started attacking the Earth, and they said that they would attack the Earth to claim it as one of their territories, and Alasdair's like, hell no. So he then went ahead and became a lawyer because he wanted to get them through the justice system to show them that there will be a precedent set forth to all aliens coming to Earth. And so he took them to court, and he became a lawyer, took them to court, and then won. So they were like, darn you, and left. And it seemed like everything was going to be peaceful. Suddenly, fast forward through time, aliens came back. They came back with a vengeance. They want to make the Earth all Texas. They want everybody to be like, yeehaw, partner, and say y'all all the time. Alistair was not having none of that. He grew up in good old, really good English-speaking countries. They are not going to speak Texan. So he took them to court. And all this happened, and he won again. Miraculously. Wow. All of a sudden, after he won, he thought he'd have his respite, and suddenly, boom. He was transported to another... is it another world, or is it a change in time? And suddenly he's at Camelot. That's what I'm thinking of. Camelot's court. And he's meeting Merlin, and he's meeting Arthur, and he's meeting all the Knights of the Round Table. And he's giving them his lawyering skills way before lawyering was really, really well thought out. So he became the law lawyer, the Knight of Law. And that is the story of Alasdair, the Knight of Law.
Okay, so my turn. So this story is about Alasdair, and it begins, strangely enough, when he was just probably a little out of high school, just a normal guy starting out, figuring things out, and suddenly aliens try to invade. But he had an interesting plan. He decided to force them into Supreme Court and fight with them that they would not be able to rule over humanity. And amazingly, he won. Maybe not so amazingly, considering the court was probably mostly people. Anyways, so years pass, he gets further and further into becoming a lawyer after that battle. And the aliens return with a interesting new countersue, I guess, where they want to force everyone to speak with a southern accent, saying y'all and howdy. And Alasdair, being the usual very proper British gentleman, would not have that at all, and took them once again through court, forcing the matter and winning once more. But I guess the aliens figured out a slight new trick this time, because they decided to send him back into mythical times, into the land of Camelot, where he quickly became associated with Merlin and Arthur and taught them the ways of being a lawyer. And thus he became the Knight of Law.
Okay, so our story is about young Alasdair. Just a normal kid in high school. When one day, aliens descend upon him, and he decides to take the aliens to the Supreme Court, where he wins because the aliens decide, the Supreme Court, mostly of humans, the rules in favor of humans, go humans. And so the aliens lose the battle, and they, defeated, leave the planet. And Alasdair decides to pursue going into being a lawyer. And years upon years later on down the road, the aliens return. This time with a countersue. and that countersue. After with the proposition of if they win, everybody has to use a southern accent. And Alasdair, being the proper proper being the proper one he just couldn't have that. And so he took it upon himself and defeated the aliens once again. However, this time they were much more clever and they had a trick up their sleeve and sent him into the past, into Camelot, where he became known as the Knight of Law. Yep, Knight of Law.
So our story begins with a young Alasdair in school, and one day he gets abducted by aliens, or they attempt to, and somehow this makes it to the Supreme Court. In which the aliens lose, and young Alasdair goes on to pursue law. However, years later, the aliens return with a countersuit. This countersuit has a mention of requiring all humans to use a southern accent. However, Alasdair, being the young proper man, Brit, was not for it, and used their years of dedication in law, beat the aliens again, and in response, he was sent back in time to Camelot, where he became known as the Lord of Law.